बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मदिन व आले मुहम्मद। डियर स्टूडेंट्स, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मैं हूं आपका टीचर खलील अहमद, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर ऑफ एजुकेशन इन यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ एजुकेशन। डियर स्टूडेंट्स, you are the students of MA Education, Leadership and Management, and the subject is Educational Measurement and Evaluation, and you know course code of this subject is EDUC 3158. Let us start our lesson number 8. First of all, instruction objectives of the lesson. Dear students, after completion of this lecture, you will be able to know about table of specification. Actually, in this lecture, we have to discuss in detail about the table of specification. After completion of this lecture, inshallah, you will be able to understand to determine the weightage of different instruction objectives, how we determine weightage of different instruction objectives, then we prepare table of specification. You will understand. In the same way, in this lecture, you will be able to determine the weightage of different content areas for table specification. In this lecture, you will be able to determine the types of items for table of specification, and in the same way you will be able to prepare a table of specification. Dear students, let us discuss in detail about the table of specification. Developing test specifications. Developing test specification is the most important task in planning of classroom test. When teacher plan classroom test, and before construction of test, teacher develop test specification. Dear students, test specification is very important in test construction. It acts as a guide for test construction. It acts just like a guide. It provides a lot of information for test construction. It is an important guide. Test specification is important guide for test construction. Table of test specification is three-dimensional chart. Actually, dear students, this is a three-dimensional chart. This is just like a chart, and it has a 3 dimension. In our next slides, we will discuss about what are these 3-dimensional dimensions and how we say that this is the 3-dimensional chart. Inshallah, you will seek all these things. In our next slides, list of instruction objectives, content areas, and types of items. These 3 dimensions we have to discuss in this lesson. List of instruction objectives, content areas, and types of items we have to discuss in this lecture, these 3 dimensions. Let us see, keeping in view 3 dimensions, there are steps for developing test specification. In first steps, we determine the weightage of different instruction objectives. Then we have to prepare table of specification. In first step, we have to determine weightage of different instruction objectives. What are the instruction objectives? and to what instruction objectives we have to determine a specific weightage. In the same way, in second step of test specification, the test constructor or teacher determine the weightage of different content areas. First, instruction objectives, weightage is given to instruction objectives, and in second step, weightage is given to the content areas. And in third step of test specification, determining the types of items to be included. So these three things we have to determine when we have to make table of specification for test construction. First of all, instruction objectives, we have to determine weightage for instruction objectives. Second one, we have to determine weightage for different content areas that are included in that test. And after that, we have to determine the types of items that should be included in that test. Let us discuss these steps one by one in detail. First step, determining the weightage of different instruction objectives. How we can determine the weightage of different instruction objectives? As you know, instruction objectives are very important, and keeping in view instruction objectives, we have to prepare our table of specification. There are a vast variety of instruction objectives. We cannot include all in a single test. There are different instruction objectives, and we sometimes can't include all in a test. In a written test, we can measure the psychomotor domain. We cannot measure affective domain and psychomotor domain. We can measure only the cognitive domain in written test. In our last lecture, we discussed the Bloom taxonomy, and we discussed three domains and how we can set the instruction objectives keeping in view all those domains. So in written test, often we can measure the cognitive domain. It is also true that all the subjects do not contain different learning objectives like knowledge, understanding, application, and skills in equal proportions. There are different subjects, there are different topics, and in different topics we set instruction objectives keeping in view cognitive domain. Sometimes some instructions are related to knowledge, some instruction objectives are related to understanding, application. So all instruction objectives do not have equal proportions. So therefore it must be planned how much weightage to be given to different instruction objectives, as there are different instruction objectives, and we have to determine, we have to finalize how much weightage to be given to different instruction objectives. While deciding this, we must keep in mind the importance of particular objectives for the subject, as there are different instruction objectives, and we have to give more weightage to those instruction objectives. Those are very important, and the instruction objectives, those have no much more importance. According to that, we have to give weightage. For example, we may give the weightage to different instruction objectives as, for example, weightage given to different instruction objectives in a test of 50 marks. This is just this table is for example. Here we can write down instruction objectives. If we have a 4, then we have to write down 4, 5, 6 cognitive domain. And here in this column, we can determine what weightage we have to given each and every instruction objectives. After that, column number 3, we can set according to this weightage number of questions. Here, for example, we give weightage to knowledge 20%. Our total marks of the test is 50, and we give weightage instruction objectives related to knowledge 20%. Then out of 50, we have to prepare 10 questions that will be related to the instruction objectives of knowledge. We are preparing table of specification, and here we are discussing about the weightage that we have to give to different instruction objectives. In 50 marks test, here we give weightage the instruction objectives that are related to understanding. We say this is somewhat important, and 40% weightage we give that instruction objectives. And in this way, there will be 20 questions out of 50 marks paper related to understanding. In next, application, related to application, there is a instruction objectives, and we give weightage to the instruction objective that is related to the application 40%. And in this way, 20 questions we will prepare out of 50 marks paper related to application instruction objectives. So this is an example. This table shows that here we can write down our instruction objectives, and according to importance of different instruction objectives, we can provide weightage to each and every instruction objective, and according to this weightage we can finalize these questions we have to prepare related to these instruction objectives. In this way, an appropriate weightage we can give to each and every instruction objectives according to importance of those instruction objectives. Now there is second step in table of specification. We have to determine the weightage of different content areas. In our last step, we determine the weightage of instruction objectives, but here we have determined the weightage of different content areas. There are different content areas that are included in our test, and to what weightage we have to give to different content areas. The second step in preparing the table of specification is to determine the content area. I have write down in bold and colored content areas. We have to given here weightage to content areas. It indicates the area in which the students are expected to show their performance. Here content area mean all those chapters, all those content areas, all those pages where we have to check the performance of the students, where the students have to show their performance. Those will be here content areas. When we determine the content area, it helps to prevent repetition of omission of any unit. When different content areas, we can provide weightage to different content areas. In this way, we do not repeat any content area. Now question arises, how much weightage should be given to each unit? When we have decided there will be 5 content areas or 5 topics or 5 chapters or 3 chapters, then question is that how much weightage should be given to each unit? The answer of this is as some expert says that it should be decided by the concerned teacher, keeping the importance of the chapter in mind, because there are well experienced teachers when they have to prepare a test. They know this topic, this content area is very important, and they can give more weightage to that important content area. Generally, it is decided on the basis of pages of the topic, total pages in the book, and number of the items to be prepared. Sometimes it is on the teacher to decide to what content area, to what weightage have to given to that content area, and generally it is decided on the basis of pages of the topic, total pages in the book, and the number of items to be prepared. So keeping in view three things: pages of the topic where we have to prepare test, total pages of the book, and number of the items. Keeping in view these things, we can also determine weightage of the content areas. Here weightage of the content area mean in what content area how many questions we have to prepare. This means a weightage of content area. For example, there are 5 content areas and teacher have to decide how many questions the teacher have to prepare from each and every topic. So in our next slides we put here an example. If a test of 100 marks is to be prepared, then the weightage of different topics will be given as following. For example, here is a test of 100 marks, and how we determine the weightage of different content areas. There is a formula, weightage of topics. Formula is as total number of items or marks multiply number of pages in a topic, and then divide the total number of pages in the book. There are 3 things important. First of all, total number of items. Here we have select total number of item 100, and then we will multiply total number of items with the number of pages in the topic. How many pages are in first topic, first chapter, you can say that. How many pages are in second topic or second chapter. So we have to multiply pages in a topic with number of items, and then we have to divide with the total number of pages in a book. For example, if a book contains total pages 250, there are pages in a book, and total test items to be constructed are 100. Topic included in test contains pages 25. There are different topics and different chapters, you can say that. And the topic number 1 have 25 pages. How we will determine and how the weightage to that topics and that content area. Then weightage to this topic will be given as 100 multiplied by 25. Here 100 are total items and 25 are the pages of that topic or that chapter, and then we will divide it 250. 250 here are the total pages of that book. In this way we can calculate 10. So in this topic we have to prepare 10 items. Our total items are 100, and if our one topic have 25 pages and the total pages of the book are 250. By using this formula, we can calculate the items that we have to prepare from a topic. So in the test of 100 total items, the weightage of the topic contains 25 pages will be 10 items. If we have to prepare 100 total we have total 100 items and the topic have 25 pages, then we will prepare 10 items from this topic. So this is the formula. By using this formula, that we can determine the weightage of content areas. After that, in our third step, we have to determine the types of items to be included. This is very important. How many items and what types of items we have to include in our table of specification. The third important step in preparing table of specification is to decide appropriate types of item. Because when we have to construct a test and we have to prepare table of specification, we have to decide appropriate type of test item we have to include in that test. Items used in test constructions can generally be divided into two types, often objective type items and essay type items. So teacher can use appropriate type of test items in table of specification. So here we have to determine the types of items to be included. After that, appropriate item types should be selected according to learning outcomes to be measured. So we have to keep in mind learning outcomes that we have to measure, and then we have to select appropriate types of test items. Because I think according to learning outcomes, we have to decide this type of test item is suitable to measure this learning outcome, and that type of test item is suitable to measure this learning outcome. For example, when the learning outcome is writing, naming, then supply type items are used. When we want there should be a question answer in written form and students have to supply name, write down name of some things, then we can use supply type items, fill in the blanks or in the short question form. So supply type items we have to use where the students have to supply answer in a single word, in a two words, in a short sentence or so on. If the outcome is identifying a correct answer, then selected type items are useful. So when we have outcomes, and in that outcomes we only the student have to identify correct answer, then we can use selected type test items, true, false, MCQs, and so on. So that the teacher must decide and select appropriate item types as per the learning outcomes. So keeping in view learning outcomes, teacher have to decide what type of items teacher have to select for test. So here we are discussing about the preparation of table of specification, and we are discussing three important steps, and here we are discussing how we have to determine appropriate type of test items for table of specification. When we have to do all these things, dear students, then we have to prepare the three-way chart. We have determined the weightage of instruction objectives. We have determined the content area. We have determined the types of items. When we have determined all these three things, then we have to prepare the three-way chart. Let us discuss how this three-way chart, in other words, table of specification, we can prepare. Preparation of three-way chart is last step in preparing table of specification. Dear students, this chart relates the instruction objectives to the content areas and types of items. Very important. I have colored this sentence. Dear students, you have to underline and you have to understand this very clearly. This chart relates the instruction objectives to the content areas. Here three things are very important: instruction objectives, content areas, and types of items. And this three-way chart relates these three things. It relates instruction objectives to content areas and types of items. In a table of specification, the instruction objectives are listed across the top of the table. When we have to prepare a three-way chart, in that chart we have to listed instruction objectives across the top of the table. In further slides, I have also prepared a table of specification for your understanding. When we will discuss that table, inshallah you will understand more easily. Here instruction objectives are listed across the top of the table and content areas are listed down the left side of the table. And after that, under each instruction objectives, the types of the items are listed content wise. So these three things we have to include in this three-way chart. In this way, we will be able to prepare table of specification. Instruction objectives in first column across the top of the table, content areas down the left side of that table in this column, and under each instruction objectives we have to write down different types of items. Let us see model of table specification. In this table of specification, you will be able to understand easily all these three things. Keep it with attention. Students, thank you, you are with me. This is a for example table of specification for our class 10. In table of specification, we have discussed three important items, three important things: instruction objectives, determination of instruction objectives, we have discussed. One, content area that we have to determine. Second one, and after that we have to determine types of items. Under each instruction objectives, we can determine types of items. Under each instruction objectives, we have determined types of items, and under each instruction objective, we have to determine types of items. Dear students, here instruction objectives are these three instruction objectives. The instruction objectives that we have to determine here: knowledge, understanding, and application. And according to instruction objectives, we have decided here the types of test items. These will be types of test item recording knowledge. These will be type of test item recording understanding. These will be type of test item recording application. And here we have to put our topics, our content areas. Here, for example, there are 5 topics or content areas, and we have given weightage to first topic 10 out of 100. We have to prepare 10 items from first content area, and from second content area we have to prepare 12 total questions. When we prepare table of specification, we can determine all these things. From third content area, we have to prepare 24 items. In fourth, we have to prepare 42, and in fifth, from fifth, we have to prepare 12. So, keeping in view importance of each content area, by using that formula that we have discussed already, we have to determine content area, weightage of content area. So this is the weightage of all these 5 content areas. After that, we have 3 instruction objectives. Now we have to determine the types of test items under each instruction objectives. From this, in this content area, we have determined, we have given weightage. 2 items we have prepared from knowledge instruction objectives. 1 item will be MCQs related and second will be true false. In the same way, under understanding instruction objectives from first topic, we will prepare 1, 2, and 4 items. 2 will be related to true false, 1 will be related to MCQs, and 1 will be related to supply type. And under this topic, keeping in view instruction objective application, we have to prepare 4 type items under this instruction objectives, and types of items will be supply type. 2 items we will prepare, and related to MCQs we will prepare 1 item, related to matching type we will prepare 1. So keeping in view these things, we have to give a weightage to content areas and different instruction objectives, and keeping in view importance of different instruction objectives, we have to finalize, we have to decide these types of test item will be included in this test. In this way, we can prepare a table of specification. For food, we have to prepare 10 items, and for second topic, we have to prepare 12 test items, and here 2 are related to the knowledge, and here 4 are related to the, or 5 are related to the understanding, and here 4 are related to the application. And we have also clear here will be a true false, here will be a 1 matching type, and 2 will be MCQs. In this way, 12 test items we have prepared from this second topic. Dear students, keeping in view all these things, we have to determine of third topic, and what weightage we have given each and every instruction objective, and what type of items we have to prepare from this, keeping with this topic. In this way, we have to complete this table of specification from 4 topics, and after that keeping in view 5 fifth topics. Dear students, this table of specification also shows that throughout the 5 topics you have prepared 5 supply type items related to knowledge instruction objectives and 6 items related to MCQs and 4 items related to matching type and 5 items related to knowledge. You can say that 20 items you have determined, you have selected related to knowledge instruction objectives throughout these 5 content areas. So this table of specification clear each and everything very much. When we prepared this table of specification, then keeping in view all these things, we are able to construct a balanced test to test the performance of the students. This is very important, and when you will understand all these things, after that you will be able to prepare a table of specification, and when you have a table of specification, then using this table of specification you can prepare an appropriate test to test the performance of the students. When you will prepare table of specification, the content area will be given appropriate weightage, instruction objective will be given appropriate weightage, and in the same way different types of items we will be able to select. I hope, dear students, you have understand all these things very well, and in our next slides there is an activity. Dear students, you have to prepare table of specification of any subject that you can have a favorite subject, and then you have to determine the following things according to your own will. You have to select a subject, and from this subject you have to determine instruction objectives. What type of instruction objectives you have to measure? Knowledge, understanding, application, analysis, synthesis, so on. And then you have to determine content areas. You can select 3 content areas, 3 chapters, 4 chapters, 5 chapters, as you will, as you want. After that, you have also determined appropriate type of test items. How many items you have to select from first instruction objective, from first topic, supply type, or so on. So as you have seen the table of specification as a model, keeping in view that model, you have to prepare your own table of specification. This is your activity, and then you have to send me the table of specification that you have to prepare yourself. Dear students, you are a good students, and I hope you have understand all these things very well. You can listen this lesson, this lecture again, and inshallah you will understand all these things, and I hope you will be able to prepare a table of specification very well. Thanks, my dear students. You are a good students. I will help you, and inshallah you will learn very well. Thanks. बहुत शुक्रिया. अल्लाह हाफिज़.